2024 St. Croix Bassmaster Open, sponsored by 7 Lake St. Clair. Iconic fishery here, 430 square miles here between Lake Huron and Lake Erie, and just legendary. One of the top 4 in the world here for bass fishing, and we had a terrific tournament here starting on day number 1 with 221 boats, I believe it was. Tommy Sanders here with, of course, Ronnie Moore and our special guest, Joey Cifuentes, adding all the flavor today, our champion here from last year. And Joey, I'll start with you. What was your impression of this final day? Did you enjoy seeing it, although not being able to be out there and redoing what you did last year?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously would love to have been out there fishing, but man, just to see the size of the fish, the smallmouth from last year, they're bigger, and guys are just catching them really good, and it was really impressive to see some how Jay did today.
Well, we talked about it, and Ronnie, you would agree too that it's all about today finding those big ones, getting the 5-pounders. Everyone's going to catch their measure of 4s, but the 5-pounders made the difference.
Yeah, we always talk about in competition on the Elite Series is if it's a tougher day, 15 pounds, how are you going to catch a 5-pounder to get that 17, 18 pounds? Well, on the Great Lakes, on smallmouth fisheries, everyone's going to have 22 to 23. How are you going to differentiate yourself and get to 24, maybe 25? And Jay Shakur slowly but surely did that. He started with 4s, and from there was able to upgrade to 5s, and he finally got a couple of those key ones at the end of the day to do it. But everyone had their shot. With the top 10 only 4 pounds separated going into the final day, you couldn't count anyone out, especially with what lives here with Trevor McKenna kicking off our week, 27-12.
Yeah, well, so we'll start with Trevor McKenna, 27-12. Still stands as the biggest bag of the tournament, even at the end of it all on day number 3. Trying to go wire to wire in this one here, and it just didn't quite pull through for him.
Yeah, Trevor, he isn't a known smallmouth angler. That's not his forte, but he really has been putting in work in the off season and free time to do that. He used a 2.5 inch or a 2.5 inch Crush City Mayor. It's coming out at ICAST next week, and he was able to use that to catch all of his fish, and it seemed like he had really pounded an area for 100 fish or so the last 2 days. Didn't really want to have to lean on other spots, but he needed them today. And late in the day, he caught a 4.5, caught a 5-pounder. It was just a little too late to try to make that 24-pound bag happen.
He has been fishing the Opens for multiple years now and had some great finishes. This is going to be, I think, his best of all of his Opens finishes so far. And it's a shame he had to come up just a little bit short. Couldn't pull off the wire-to-wire thing, but still he gets the top bag of the tournament.
Very key points. Joey Cifuentes knows this. Qualifying for the Elite Series is a gauntlet, and with 9 events at stake, getting up to the top 20 in points, being in 18th with 3 to go, Trevor is in a great spot to qualify for the Elite Series. Were you impressed? He was very calm all day, Joey, even if it wasn't going his way.
Yeah, he was. His mentality was great, kept positive, and just couldn't get those really good bites today to pull this thing through. But hats off to him for a great tournament.
We always think, Tommy, that big water means maybe big waves and things like that. Joey probably dealt with a lot less traffic than these guys in Anchor Bay did, because Taku mentioned it in the tournament, Trevor did. It got a little congested. You're not able to actually go fish around. There was a lot of boats in there that weren't fishing, that were kind of in the way.
Trevor likes these big, natural, shallow lakes. Started out great, 11th place, just out of the top 10, down at Okeechobee to start the year.
Yeah,
so
Okeechobee
obviously
South
feeling good about that.
and Okeechobee North.
That's right. People do say that. That is a thing. But what a nice guy, and really just kind of kept his spirits up. He never seemed to get down throughout the course of the day, and he knew he was losing ground pretty early on.
Even after having the biggest bag of the tournament and having a very good bag on day 2, he only had an 11-ounce lead over Jay Shakur and Aaron Jag Feld. So Aaron, from the college series, just like Trevor, but newly graduated from Adrian College. And Tommy, he had this one circled on his map. He said, I'm fishing Division III, Lake St. Clair's my home lake, and I'm going to do it a little different. He said, I went to a couple waypoints in practice that haven't had fish in a long time for me. And they started to show up as the week went along, and I knew if I could get away from the crowd, I'd be able to maybe have a shot to win.
Barely hooked.
Every one of these tournaments, these Opens tournaments, has a local who is a real ninja out there on the water. He was this guy, Joey. He was the man.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a tough to battle your home lake, fishing a tournament like that. You never know. You've got a lot of other knowledge that a lot of other people don't have, so that's always a challenge, but still did an excellent job this week.
Very flat lake. but he was able to get right in the shipping channel, right off of it where it does drop off, where there is a lot more current, and stick with his school of fish as they move and change every day. You know that in big water. They can be gone and be 300 yards over there the next day.
The performance of the day, though, belongs to this man, Jay Shakur, in his 3rd year with the Bassmaster Elite Series, dropping down a class, as they say in other sports, in order to do this Open here, but showing a lot of class out there today.
Man, to see Jay and where he's came from during COVID in 2020, fishing the Opens as a co-angler, moving to the front of the boat, showing his skill in qualifying, winning an Elite event. He's been top 10 in points every season on the Elite Series, Tommy. And over his last 4 events, Lake Murray, he gets 5th, Wheeler, he gets 6th, Smith, he gets 3rd, and now jumps to the Opens at St. Clair and pulls through. Got better every single day. 24. Who would have thought you'd get better every day if you start the week with 24 pounds? But he did just that, Joey.
Yeah, super impressed by Jay here, man. He has the ball rolling, and this is his wheelhouse. I mean, this is what he does best: catch big smallmouth, and that's what he did.
One thing also we can say, when we saw where all the anglers in Anchor Bay were located, it seemed like there were groups with Jamie Bruce, Jack York near each other. Maybe Trey Schroeder had some water to himself. Jay was always by himself, but those other people weren't far away. He found something a little different amongst the crowd.
Yeah, it's super important in these big smallmouth places like that to get those fish that are less pressured, you know.
Just did it his way, absolutely. Jay Shakur, the quiet conqueror.
Sneaky
I think
Jay.
that's what we're going to call him. He's maybe closing in, and is closing in. He has got it, his 2nd Bassmaster Open, his first Bassmaster Open win, his first Bassmaster Open win for Jay Shakur. Hey, hats off to him. But right now, let's hold on and take a look at what happens right now at that winning moment.
Great start to the event. 49.4 through his 2 days of fishing. 5 in the bag. If it's more than 22.9, you will take over the hot seat looking for 22.9. 26 pounds and an ounce, and Jay Shakur moves into the lead. Listen to this. 3-day total of 75 pounds and 5 ounces, a 25-pound average. That is on pace to break 100 pounds if this was a 4-day tournament, and he is your new leader. And again, his 4th top 10 in a row. And, boy, we've got the wheels rolling the right direction right now.
Man, what can I say? I love Lake St. Clair. Last year for the Elite Series, I missed the top 10 by 1 ounce, so I kind of had a vengeance out here. I really wanted to do well. So after practice, I really didn't think I could win with the fish I was on. It was kind of slow. Started putting some things together, and that's when it finally clicked. It was actually yesterday afternoon when I started catching them on a baby Z2. So originally I was catching my fish on a drop shot, primarily strictly drop shotting a baby Z2. When I switched over to a Demiki rig with a Smeltinator head on it, 1/4 ounce, that's when I started whacking them. The fish just got really educated to that drop shot, and you had to hover something above their heads. Another key this week was basically fishing 1/4 mile sections. So I had 3 different 1/4 mile sections in Anchor Bay that I ended up finding, throughout the entire tournament. And that's just places that held bigger fish. I had to rotate them throughout the entire day. They look at my bait so much, man. It was so frustrating. But finally, I'd connect with one. There were certain time windows. It was an hour time window when they would connect with that baby Z2.
Well, you definitely earned it. Let's get Josh up here from St. Croix Rods in Michigan. I need you to go loud for your champion. A 3-day total of 75 pounds and 5 ounces out of Wisconsin. It's Jay Shakur going to be taking on the trophy. $49,000, $192. Hold that trophy high, and let's hear it for your champion this week here on a very magical Lake St. Clair.